Alright, so, about to do a quick video, you know what I'm saying? Introduce yourself to the people, who you are, what you represent.
Peace, love, and light, family. Peace, love, and light. It's your boy Yahshron Amun. That's my moniker on Facebook, Instagram followers. It's Smooth Enlightenment. So I'm out here with the king, the Nasuk, Sonny, my boy.
Sonny in the suit. I'm behind the cameras right now, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in front later on, but we're gonna start the first video off for 2016 with my man Yahshron Amun. You know what I'm saying? And so, what you want to talk about? What you want to bring to the people, man?
Got a few things we want to bring to the people. Appreciate all the viewership. First, I just want to thank the ancestors for, paving the way for us to do things like this. Definitely want to thank all my kings and queens out there, brothers and sisters, guys and goddesses, man. Really appreciate the love, support, and energy y'all bring. I guess the first issue is, we're around elections. It's around the election time. So, let's talk a little politics. What's going on? Reason I want to touch is me and my mom had a heated debate.
Before you get into that,
go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
So it's election time and Obama is not a candidate to vote for.
Right.
So do you feel it's important for black people to vote, being that we don't have a black candidate to vote for?
I definitely feel it's important for black people to vote, but you have to understand the different types of voting systems, and that's what I'm going to try to break down real quick. Is what kind of voting are you doing? All right. So, like I said, me and the moms had a heated debate, and talking about elections, she asked me did I go vote. She kind of asked rhetorically because she know I didn't. And so, me being defensive, we kind of got into it and why she felt, we should go to the polls and vote, and why I felt like it is ineffective specifically towards the black community. Because, and I asked her how many more presidents is it going to take for us to vote for before we realize that the system is not working for us. We've had, 43, I believe? All 43 under the U.S. Constitution. We've had 43.
Well, we had repeat presidents, but we had
to repeat, but 43 held offices.
Right. Because people they nitpick, man.
You know
what I'm saying?
They gonna be like, hey, that nigga said we really only had 39.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know what I mean.
We're not gonna give y'all nothing to nitpick about us. We're knowledgeable. We're not no fools talking. But go ahead, bro.
Right. You know what I mean? So we had 43 offices held under the Constitution, and you have to understand, if you understand the Bill of Rights and then the amendments thereafter, because you understand, you don't have to adhere to the amendments. It's the reason why they're called amendments, okay? The Bill of Rights is the structure, it is the foundation. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a house. Your house is foundation. You can change the house, or you can add a wall, take away a wall, make the ceiling higher, make it lower, but your foundation is what stays the same. So when you understand foundation, and I'm gonna do a video later on the 5 levels of language, and you understand the 5 levels of language and how it applies to law and interpretation of the law, you will understand why voting as far as African Americans will be ineffective. You have to go in and study Dr. Claude Anderson, okay? This is where I learned a lot of information, and he further breaks down voting as far as a population system with black people never surpassing 14%. We may go 14.5%, possibly 15%, but they'll never let us get to 16% of the population. And also with that voting count, let's just do a scenario of 100% of eligible voters voted. You got to remember, a lot of black people are in prison or convicts, felony convicts for whatever reason, not allowed to vote. Even if we got 100% of eligible people to vote, and we voted one way, it would still not sway the opinion enough with 56% of white people, and then they're further including the definition of what qualifies as white. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that in a democratic type of system, if you're thinking popularity vote, majority rules, democracy is majority rules. Well, we are the minority in this land of law. Under this rulership, we are the minority. Globally, we're the majority, but under this rulership, we are the minority. So if majority rules, we are not the majority. We will never rule. You see what I'm saying?
So where did you and your mom disagree at? What did y'all have your disagreement?
Well, we had disagreements in a few places as far as, you know, you have the committees. Okay, let's think about, I said, okay, she was talking about because she's in a few organizations, especially being an educator, and how the boards go forward through when they want policies implemented. We're gonna have this meeting. You know, they might have 100 people meet. We want X, Y, and Z done. We'll go to a presenter to the board. You know what I'm saying? These are probably like politicians or people who hold office positions. We want you to implement X, Y, and Z of our opinions, or you're not gonna get our votes. That sounds good, but the problem is you gotta think, how many of that 100 are black people? So when I look in the Senate and I look in Congress, and I see we are less than 1% of the Senate, we are less than 1% of Congress. How do you think? How plausible is it for the issues of the black community to be addressed and specifically for us, and to then not only be addressed, to be implemented in law and legislation, and then executed? If we don't even make up 1% of the Senate, 1% of Congress. You see what I'm saying? So that was a huge area of disagreement. Also, we disagreed on, let's say I'm a billionaire, right? And we got 100,000 people who make maybe between $60,000 and $100,000. As a billionaire, what is my vote worth versus every single one of their votes? I'm a billionaire. I'm an elite. I'm at the top. What happens in the office and whatever policies are going to affect my revenue or my assets or my wealth, all right, I'm gonna have a bigger stake at large. So therefore, I'm gonna have a larger say. So it doesn't matter that I got 100,000 people out here saying otherwise. I'm a billionaire, and not only that, that means I control resources, scarce resources. I have a wealth system. Okay. I have people under my wealth system who will support me. So I don't care about those 100,000. If any of those 100,000 are working for me, it would be wise, or it behooves them to be in my favor. Or I can make it harder. You see the crisis in Flint. You see, you know what I'm saying? You see who don't have the water and who does have the clean water. And not only that, you see the water companies taking advantage of that situation. You know what I'm saying? I believe that was a ploy. So when you are a billionaire, or when you're somebody in an elite position of status, you can vote however which way you want, all you want. I am in a position of power to control and influence your daily lifestyle. That's what people not understanding with the whole voting system.
So where were you guys? Because we understand, me and you both have the understanding that, you know, we respect our queens.
Oh yeah.
We respect our mothers.
Oh yeah.
You know, so even though we have a disagreement, we always have to bring it back home.
Right.
And have that unity with our mothers.
Right.
So I know what type of man you are. I know what type of person you are.
Yeah.
I know you was able to bring it back home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And come to an understanding with your mom. So how were you able to do that?
And it was so beautiful how it happened, man. Definitely, I love and respect my mother. I would not purposely in any way try to disrespect my mom, no matter how heated the debate got. I told her I appreciate it right after. I told her I'd appreciate it for it. I told her that she is my best competition. Iron sharpens iron. And I appreciated her for having that. That's not the first time we had a conversation like that. It's probably one of the more intense ones, but again, man, I wouldn't be here, first of all, without my mother. You know what I'm saying? Bringing me into this world. I wouldn't be able to do the things I do or be where I'm at in life if it wasn't because of my mother and her love, because she could have easily abandoned me. She could have aborted me. You know, she had me at 18. She already had a kid, so I could have been aborted. So I definitely love and appreciate my mother, queen. I always see her as a queen. I won't ever disrespect her. But what was beautiful, how it turned out, is after that heated debate, and I told her I thanked her and I loved her for it, we had a build session that was like 3 hours long, man, and we just addressed the ills and the topics in the black community, man. It was so beautiful. Like my spirit was just so shaken that we and her were building like that. And the question I want to posit to the viewership is, we can go to church every Sunday, and I'm not making this a religious thing, but we can go to church or whatever religious institution that we believe in. We can make it there every Sunday, regardless of the reasons why we go. We can make it there every Sunday. We can make it to the club every weekend. We can make it to the polls for poll voting. We can make it there, but we cannot, for some reason, the black community cannot meet together weekly to address the direct ills in our own community on a weekly basis. When we have white people meeting multiple times more than a week to make sure that their things get implemented. Okay, at least once a week. But we going to church once a week. All right, in institutions that do not even support the black community. You can go to an all-black church and they not setting up no black-owned businesses in your neighborhood. So that's what really got me, and I posited that question, and she was asking the same. She said so much like, we don't have any leaders that are doing that are bringing that blueprint to bring us out of our condition. Why is that? Why are we going to church every Sunday and we can praise whoever name we want to praise? We can go to the club and yell out all the rappers, sing all their songs and R&B people's songs, but we can't meet weekly. And then we want to complain and say Black Lives Matter, but you're not doing anything to show that Black Lives actually matter.
Let me jump in on that from behind the cameras. I just to add on, piggyback what you were saying, I understand totally. We have generations and generations of family, black families going to church from grandma to grandson. Now, if we're going to these churches, generations after generations, giving generations worth of tithes to the church, and if grandson is in the same condition as grandma when she began the church, then there's a problem there. There's a problem there. There should be some type of elevation between generations. And I think at some point we have to put the pressure back on these churches and put the pressure not only on the churches, put the pressure on ourselves and hold our own selves accountable for our own actions. At some point we have to make a change. That doesn't mean that we don't go to church at all, but maybe if we want to go to church, because I understand people need that spiritual presence that church brings. I understand that totally. But we need to have some kind of community building. And these are the things that should be on the focal points of churches when we go there. So I just want to throw that on there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So to end the video off, from the bill you had with your mom, the information that you presented, the information that she presented it, what was the conclusion of your conversation?
Man, basically, what we were able to do was, despite our huge difference in ideologies, we were still able to put our ego aside and see what was needed for the betterment of our people and the community. And that's what we as black people have to learn, that you could be Kemetic, you could be Hebrew Israelite, you could be Moor, you could be guys of Earth Nations, or whatever. You have to understand, you have to sometimes put your ideologies aside for the immediate need of the community. And once me and her were able to do that, again, that bill happened, and we realized that, one, we need to be meeting regularly to discuss these issues regularly. We cannot be just haphazardly meeting. One thing we both agreed, it was so crazy, is that like when Flint happened or when the things in Ferguson happened, you see everybody around the country get up and fly out. They dropped everything they was doing and they flew off. Oh, our sisters and brothers need us over here. They need us over there. And you gotta understand, white people taking notice, and they saying, okay, these people flying off to every major, event or occurrence that happens, and then they have yet to fix their own community. So we got to put on halt everything we do when something comes up with black people. We got to stop what we doing, stop the building. We haven't fixed our own communities, and just because, okay, we got to go show love here. We got to go show that I sent 20 cases of water to Flint. Not taking anything away from them. Yes, we want to support our brothers and sisters around the country and the globe, but we have to make sure that we have an infrastructure at home to stand on so we can support them. I can't go and support, you know what I'm saying, somebody in New York if I'm in Houston at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm barely making ends meet over here. But I got to take a flight out to go protest in Mars. That don't make sense. So we have to make sure that we address the needs in our immediate community. So we meet regularly. We have an infrastructure that is sound, all right, that we can go out and set up different houses in different cities and support, all right? And then, man, we just got to collectively, financially, we have to become educated because there's yet to be a blueprint set up where we can trust, the people can trust whoever with money and effectively implement that in the community. So we definitely need to get educated in economics so we can set out that blueprint to build somewhat of a Black Wall Street back. So that's kind of what we came to.
All right. So how can the people reach you, man? You know, what do you want to shout out to Instagram, Facebook page?
Yeah, once again, on Facebook, y'all can reach me at Yahshron Amun.
Spell that for the people.
Yashron. I'm sorry. Yahshron Amun, Amun. And then on Instagram, you can get me at Smooth Enlightenment. All right, SMOOVE Enlightenment with an INLIGHTENMENT. All right.
All right, cool. So we're gonna close the video out. Till next time.
Peace.